Okay, so that reminds me, recording in progress, Lisa, that have you made any progress towards doing anything voiceover?
I have not. My top of my list is the book. So
All right, you're getting that done?
yes, I'm working on that every week. And actually the top of my list right now has been bumped up to I need to email all the potential students for boot camp. So that's
Interesting.
Yeah, I've been put in charge of that.
Yeah. I searched up CenterCam and I see it, and that's pretty cool. It hangs down, but someone actually made a clear acrylic platform basically for like $50, which is way too much to pay for this tiny piece of acrylic that literally just hangs on your monitor and then comes down and has a mount for your for a webcam.
Yeah. The CenterCam, what's nice about it is it's pretty small, and and you know, I don't remember if it's like probably a 720p. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. You use like a high def laptop camera. You can buy just a high def laptop camera off of eBay for virtually nothing. That, like, seriously, sometimes they're like $4, and then you buy a little YouTube, little USB, basically a USB cable, because it's just a USB webcam. That's all it is. But it's got the flat rim.
That's what the CenterCam is.
Yeah, and they just wired up to you got to do the soldering yourself with the kit, but you just wire it up to your cable. But then you literally got a ribbon this wide, this wide, and that's what hangs down in front of your monitor, so it doesn't, it's not obtrusive, intrusive, whatever.
Gosh, and I need to look where I put that thing. I'll
gives you that eye contact.
Yeah.
But I've
someone
got
made a AI. There's I think one of the, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
One of the what do they call it? The high-end gaming companies. I think they made like an AI based thing where it's like a GPU or graphics card thing, but it even though you're not looking directly at the camera, it makes it look like your eyes are looking directly. Yeah.
I've
that
seen
seems
it.
pretty interesting.
And it's interesting. It's also creepy as hell, because this is what it ends up. This is what it ends up as. Like that looks weird. That looks weird. That looks weird. Like it just looks weird. Now, as long as you're in the neighborhood, it does okay. Right. What I do is I have a 2-monitor setup, and my webcam is directly in the center of them. And I just bring my Zoom window over and position it in the center, so I've got half and half on each deal. And it's not great, but when I'm with one person, it's fine because you're only looking at one person. Whenever we get the whole group in here and there's 12 of us, who knows who I'm looking at? And Zoom won't let me minimize screens while it's recording, so I get distracted by the big screen of people. Wait a minute, and let me minimize that. We are recording, right? Yeah, okay, we're recording.
Yes.
Maybe it's the difference between recording to the cloud and recording on the local computer. So that's good.
I'm gonna go off camera for a second and look for that camera. I might be able to put it on.
I'm gonna go off camera for a second too. me and Sean look the same off camera now. You're muted, Sean.
Almost twins.
Twinsies.
Oh, that probably makes me Danny DeVito.
I'll take it. If that makes you Danny DeVito, I'll take it, because that makes me Arnold Schwarzenegger. So.
You have to do your best. I'll be back.
I'll be back.
I'll be back. Yeah, I'm not good at it. My son, however, I have tried very adamantly to encourage him to do some practice on different voices and voiceover, because he does a really excellent job of it. If he put just a little bit of effort in, it could be a decent money-making career for him. And that is why it's a really bad idea to be late to the beginning of the meeting, guys.
Yeah.
I heard
Some
Hi,
things
Bob.
can't repeat. They just, they don't come out right.
I heard everything you said. I know exactly what you're doing,
Okay.
and I
tell
know
us
what you're
about
thinking.
about the googly eyes.
And now,
And Lisa, I know exactly what you're thinking.
exactly, like maybe he does. Maybe he does.
Maybe he does. I could teach him how to read tarot, and he could brand himself a psychic.
Mm. How are you this week, Bob?
Good. We're finally getting our business back on the right track, and things are going well.
Awesome.
Now I'm getting prepared for Florida.
Are you going to be doing any kind of training there, or are you just going to learn?
I am going to learn, but I am bringing some stuff I got to go over with Tom while I'm there. He's a hypnotist in Philadelphia, and he wants me to go over some of the material.
I
So
thought-
I am.
That thing was starting because didn't David say he was going today?
No, I think it starts Friday. The 3rd starts the 3rd or the 4th. I don't know. I have it down. I leave Wednesday.
It's
It
next
doesn't-
weekend, yeah.
Yeah, starts Thursday, Friday.
There's
Saturday.
David, right on cue.
There he is. Okay.
How's that for magic?
That was mad.
Yeah.
So what do you think,
his-
David?
His ears must have been burning, and we can't quite hear you, David.
Oh,
That's a little better, but
let's see. Hold on. Should be working.
yeah, I can hear you. I can't hear you. It was just a little quiet, I guess, because
How about
Bob was
now?
talking.
Any better?
Yeah, that's a little better. I can hear that better
You're
now.
a little scratchy sounding though.
Yeah, well, my
Yeah.
voice is a little shot.
Been working hard.
I have been despite the getting COVID last Tuesday.
Oh no! Oh no!
Again?
Yeah, one more time. But again, the only symptoms I had, and the only reason I tested, is because I had a little bit of a sore throat.
Mhm.
And so,
Well, at least you're not getting really ill. That's good news.
well, that's the thing.
I know.
Yeah.
I know that COVID isn't exactly ubiquitous, but I'm curious. What do y'all stage hypnotists do to work to protect your voice? Like, do you take? You got a favorite lozenge or something? I know some people swear by different
you know-
things and keeping it going. I know,
We
like
do-
Lisa and Alan do 3-4 shows a day occasionally, so like
We
that's
do
got to be rough.
warm-ups. And when you're doing multiple shows, you want to make sure you have enough space in between.
Mhm.
That's the biggest thing. If I start getting a scratchy voice, I mean, in the past, I've done honey, hot water, honey, tea with honey, like at Hypno Thoughts, back in the day when you're getting like smoky voice, I would ask them for
Fireball.
tea with lunch and get the
I was-
yeah, that's
that-
later
that's-
at bowling and get the honey packets.
Yeah,
You
that-
also hit up Starbucks and get the medicine ball.
Hot,
That's
hot
that's,
tea, yeah.
that's what I was
I
thinking.
actually found my
rock up-
voice got stronger as I did, because I was going to make too much money, and so I did a couple of shows, and my voice actually got strong. This is actually good. At one point it was really terrible, but and also, I mean, I know I've some theatrical training, so you also
You could utilize it
differently. You use your diaphragm. You're not trying to project out of your throat. So it's a lot of different techniques, but a lot of tea. I drank a lot of tea.
Yeah, hot tea is a good thing. I always travel with a few packets because you don't always find them in hotels. But I've found that in the last few years, I haven't had a lot of occasions where I've had to do it.
Well, I know that with what I do, I use my voice, and I am absolutely projecting very strongly. and 6 hours. And I'm like, yeah, it's time.
And this is why I said nobody wants to do 6 clients a day.
Right. Well, six clients a day. I mean, that wouldn't be, if I can speak at a normal conversational tone and volume. Well, mine's always a little loud, but we'll call it normal at my normal for, 18 hours a day. And I'm fine. It's it's speaking over road traffic and, of 15,000 people coming in and out and all that. Yeah. It's, you got to be a little louder.
You're not allowed to
Next
use
to
a
the
microphone.
carnival.
I could use like a microphone or a megaphone or something. But it would kill my cells.
I have one suggestion. Chloroseptic. It's like a spray.
Yeah. If you're having trouble with it.
If you have
I was thinking more on the preemptive side.
I haven't. When I was younger, I used to get tonsillitis or
like
inflammation.
My biggest problem here is speaking over the wind on windy days. Cause like right now I didn't even go out today because the wind's blowing 35, 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's it steady gusting to 70. It's like, you can't speak over that. It's not possible.
We were very near, we were right next to the rides at the last one. The one that got me was when I was doing the show at the exact same time and right next to the demolition derby. And at the end of the show, my voice was pretty shot. And so I went and talked to the manager and I said, hey, let's talk about the schedule for tomorrow. Do you want to move the show to not be at the same time as the derby? And she said, why would I do that? I want it at the same time. And I was like, alrighty then.
Well, I mean, Joe did a show in a bowling alley, so.
I mean, don't you use a microphone? I mean,
sure.
And
you want to? We'll go to the. I should find videos from that.
It's still a demolition derby. I mean, that's
derby.
a loud activity.
And they have the big, rodeo speakers as they're announcing all of that.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Trust me, I've got 3 speakers. I've got a monitor and 2 big old 50, 60 pound Mackies up on tripods.
And with the demolition derby, let me guess, your tripod mounted speaker would probably fit inside the horn of their speaker, right? Yeah. It's like they out speakered you.
Oh yeah. And they've got like 6 of them on each, pole.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was probably for me the worst. When we did it, that had the motorcycles behind us, we coordinated with them to, they do their set and we do our set, and then they do their set and we do our set. But yes, absolutely. Microphone, speakers, absolutely. Unless you're doing a house party. If you're doing a house party, you don't need that. You don't have to worry about it. But you might still want at least one speaker, but you can get without. You can do it without.
Well,
are you muted?
Scott is, yeah.
Oh, Scott is muted.
Yeah, he's eating.
No,
he's eating his dinner.
Just looked like you were talking, David, and there was no. I heard nothing. I saw your mouth moving, but I heard nothing.
Sean is muted.
Am I?
He is now not muted.
That's okay.
Really?
You're talking.
How are you doing, Bob? How you doing, Bob?
How are you, Bob?
You got to do it in the announcer voice. Sean is now the active speaker.
What is it that drives you to do what you do, Sean, every day in such a way?
Caliber.
Up page.
There's a part of you that really wants to be here.
Yes,
and there's another part.
There's another part of him that wants to be on a tropical island.
Yes.
Yeah, as long as it's not frozen, I'd settle for not frozen.
Everybody talks about being on a tropical island. I lived in like East Texas, and that's like 20 degrees warmer than a tropical island. And I'm thinking, I don't know that I want to be on a tropical island.
I remember, I can remember one of my teachers saying, you can get a better tan in Saskatchewan, and if you draw the line straight down, Texas is right in line with us. You get a better tan on the continent than you can on any island.
Yeah,
Gathers more heat.
maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. I think when you retire, Sean, you should
Try that out.
take your snow shovel and you could put it on top of your car and you should drive south until somebody says, "What the hell
What's
is
that?"
that?"
Yeah, absolutely.
That sounds like a modern day version of the Odyssey.
Yeah, that is exactly. I think that's a really great idea right there. What the hell is that? Do you even have a snow shovel? Like the volumes of snow you have, can it even be handled with a shovel, or do you have to have machinery?
Both.
Both.
It depends on what I'm shoveling where.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a task I ever want to do.
Yeah. No.
You know what? I don't want to do it either.
Anyone going to the ICBCH thing this week?
Bob is. We were just
Okay.
talking about it. We were just talking about it when we said you were going also, and then you popped in, and that's what we were like.
Yeah.
Your ears
Speak
were
of David. Yep.
Yeah.
So
And my wife is actually joining us for Friday. Well, she thinks as of right now, she's joining us for the Friday night dinner thing. But she's a little
geez.
nervous about COVID, and she's never gotten it, doesn't want to get it, and so
she wants to go to a convention. Yeah.
She probably has.
She's coming on Friday, and then during the day on Saturday, my two daughters and their husbands are coming down and joining us. We're doing Disney for a few days for
Fun.
I mean, if she hasn't had it by now, is she really even trying? I mean, come on. Like,
I've even had it.
must have some sort of natural immunity at this point.
I
Yes.
don't know. That's what we said about my
You've had
son.
it like 3 times, right?
Yeah, this is my third time.
There are 40% of people that have it are asymptomatic, completely.
That's true.
So she may have had it.
The first time I had it, literally, if I didn't know that I had it, if I hadn't tested, because my daughter, I've missed 2 of my grandson's big events, his bris and his first birthday, because I just come home from
Conventions.
from Vegas. Hypno Thoughts.
Yeah.
Although I think the second one, the first time, I don't think I got it at Hypno Thoughts because it was like a week later.
Yeah.
But my daughter insisted that I get tested, and we were both joking and going for the test, and it came up positive rather, and it was like, I don't feel anything, and the second time I felt like odd for like a day, and this time I still have like this hoarseness, but
I had nothing. I never would have even tested, except that Alan had it, and then someone else that we were with had it, and then the third person that we were with that got it, I said, okay, I should probably test.
Yep.
I trust the test though. I mean, they've tested vegetables, tested positive, goats.
It was just a matter of not going out to lunch with my friend.
Well, they air the test on the side of making too many false positives, because it's better to do that than to have too many false negatives.
I was just curious. It just seemed odd to me is all.
Oh, no doubt it is. But like I said, I tested positive once. Whether that meant I had it or not, who knows? Who cares? And so I got treatment. But yeah, it's like
I got no treatment. What treatment did they give you?
You had it?
The antibodies. Yeah.
So David, you're going to?
I am going.
Okay.
Getting there on Wednesday afternoon.
Okay.
I actually put a notice out if anyone is arriving at the same time, I'd love to grab an Uber with some.
I am arriving. I'm going to Sanford though.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm going into Orlando.
Yeah, I heard the airport's a mess right now in Orlando.
Really?
There's a lot going on. They shut it down because of fog, and there's a lot of construction because they're putting a train there to go to Disney.
Right.
So it's there's a lot of delays in getting your luggage and stuff like that.
Oh, lovely.
So
Well, I'll tell you, the Sarasota airport is like 3 doors. So
wow,
it was,
small.
it was very small.
AB's that same way. Allentown's real small. Takes you in and out pretty quick.
Yeah. It
What
was
you
like
get
in
when
a-
you're living here in Allentown.
What's that?
Yeah.
Yes, Billy Joel.
It's true.
Get that one out of your head tonight.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can get it out.
James, do you start your sessions in that position?
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to figure something out. This is why I
Oh,
normally
okay,
don't
yeah,
look
yeah.
right into the camera. It's like bad eyesight and posture and all that.
Alan told me he had
It's
to-
okay.
and
We're
begged me to get it
completely
out.
fine with it.
Unless you're talking, Steve, we cannot see what you're sharing.
Is anybody in there?
Yeah.
What'd you get there, Steve? What's that package?
You have to talk, Steve. first.
Hypnosis with Steve.
Mike.
That's that
cable,
mic cable.
and mixer.
Nice. Awesome. They all came in. Nice.
Mhm, mhm.
Scott, not to take any time up. Are you going to be available tomorrow? We can get together anytime.
Yeah.
Good
Probably.
time.
Yeah,
What's
I
a
can
good time?
make some time. What's a good time for you?
I'm trying to think. Probably late. Well, 9, 10 o'clock. You want me to just text
AM?
you or something?
Yeah, 9 a.m. your time would be 8
8.
a.m. my time, right?
Oh, that's right. You're behind, so I can go.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good for me.
All right.
I can do that.
Great. Great. Thank you.
What are we going over if you don't
I
mind?
just want to do the YouTube channel. I want to get that
Yeah.
up and running.
No problem. Got Steve's up and running this other day, and he done has a video up and some subscribers. And you got any
Yeah,
more
I saw
tutorials
that.
made,
That looked
Steve?
pretty cool.
I didn't even look today because I was so busy with everything else. I haven't had time to even go in there. I made a video this morning. Where did I put it? I don't know.
Steve,
Probably
is
on
that
your
your
computer.
branding of Go High Level or is that something else?
It's the Go Funnel box, but it's a product of Go High Level, James.
Ah, okay.
So yeah,
Uh,
he accidentally made a commission on it basically, and I was like, I really need to do some tutorials. So I was like, well, let's get you set up, and we just ran through
That's
and
awesome.
had him all set up so he can do some tutorials now. And
I made
Got,
another one today too. When
Yeah.
I literally don't have any videos out there other than the one I put out yesterday.
Yeah.
And I made a funnel or I made a commission today as well. $200 at a pop.
he made another one. Yeah,
Dang.
Does it replace MailChimp?
it replaces all kinds of stuff. It's a very complete software package,
I haven't,
How many,
I did
how
find a
many,
hole in it.
subscribers can you have?
unlimited.
Unlimited
Can you make
funnels.
multiple
Yep, unlimited.
like
Sing-
categories?
Single lifetime price.
Yeah.
And you can make a website in there and host it.
Like landing pages like MailChimp does?
Yeah.
Well, for sure landing pages, but you can make your website. I recreated my website and but I didn't know that you could, the product host your website too. And I was like, how does it host it? They're like, do you have a
Yeah, how's
domain
that work?
name? And I was like,
What?
of course I have a domain name. I just bought 4 of them yesterday. And you just link your domain name to that page and it's done. There's no hosting. You pay once and it's all there. You can have 25 domain names and just build 25 websites and everything. So,
Okay, we're gonna have to have a conversation.
yeah,
And what's the idea of that?
it's a marketing tool. So I bought it to promote my hypnosis business, right?
Hmm.
You can build courses in there, so you no longer need Kajabi. So if you're a course creator and you can host your digital products, I have my ebook out there. I have a couple of audios. I don't know the bandwidth of that.
It's not going to replace Vimeo.
No, it will not. But we'll see.
By the way, my Vimeo is doing.
I mean, why is it not going to replace Vimeo?
I just don't know what the limitation. I don't think I've asked. I was like, what are the limitations? Because I was like, what if I host my ebook and my audios here? They're like, you don't want to do that. You want to do it in Google Drive or YouTube or something. I was like, why? And
Okay.
so I hosted it in there just to test it, and it worked. It works fine.
Yeah, it's going to be a bandwidth issue. They don't want you hosting it there, and their terms probably say excessive usage and all that, and you probably can't because unlimited never means unlimited.
That's right.
Right.
You know.
True. Unlimited does not mean. Yeah. No, we have the memorial Vimeo page up, and it is doing very well.
What's the memorial Vimeo page?
I have permission to host Jerry Valley
Oh,
on my Vimeo, and so I'm loading Jerry Valley videos, and they are selling very well.
wow.
Yeah. And then someone on there asked about Marcia Starr, who I know, and they wanted videos of her. So I talked to her, and she said she's like, I don't have any videos. Nobody would want my videos. And I said, well, that's not true. Someone wants your video. Like, they're asking me for your video. So I told her to make sure she records everything. And she said she's doing mostly private clients now, but she does have a show coming up. So she usually does one every year on.
You can be the Netflix of stage hypnosis shows.
Yeah, so somebody was talking about putting that together, and I don't think that ever came about.
I know who that was.
I know you do because you're the one I heard it from, but I can't remember. Did that ever actually materialize?
No, but if that person signs on tonight, we can harass them.
Okay. Do they sign on often?
Yes,
Okay.
because they're amazing.
Are they at an open mic night tonight?
They are.
They're amazing.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Did I drop
That's
enough
right.
hints?
Yeah. I knew somebody was putting that together. Well, yeah, we need to.
Yeah, I think
need
it's
to get
just
on
a
it.
not happened yet kind of a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you the stack of not happened yet things I have in my.
I know you always remind. It's like you and I always talk about, like, oh, hey, did you do this yet? Well, no, it's on the list.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, did you do this yet? Well, no, but it's on the list.
Well, that's the problem. The idea generation is very fun and exciting, and you can do it a lot faster than you can actually implement things.
Yeah.
Although chat has helped me with a lot of things.
The stuff I've been doing with chat this last week, man, it is over the top.
Okay, this should be a new segment. What's up with Chat GPT?
Yeah, right.
So what's up with Chat
You know
GPT?
me.
We're gonna call this segment the You, Me, and GPT segment.
Oh,
That's a good one.
GPT.
Steve, what have you been doing with You, Me, and GPT this week?
well, I typically create about between 150 and 300 affirmations, insights, metaphors, and I've been waiting for my new mic to record the last 150. So I probably have 350, 400 affirmations this week that I did.
Nice.
Wow.
Then Scott and I worked on, I'm sorry, I have a piece of chocolate in my mouth.
All right.
Worked
It
on
sounds
the macros
delicious.
within Audacity.
Hey, now don't be giving away all the secrets, Steve. I'm giving away all the secrets.
I'm not,
That's in the paid
I'm very
course.
cognitive of what I'm saying.
Hey, I'm supposed to be the guinea pig for that.
Well, you know what? Steve is on the ball and getting shit done. So step up. Step
You
up.
told
promise
me
you
to
that's not the
subscribe
case.
to sound school, and I did. Nothing's been posted yet.
Yeah, I know.
I
But-
did what I was told.
It's pretty cool. So when I'm not gonna release any of Scott's information, but I'll tell you that when I'm teaching other people how to use Audacity and doing it longhand, I'm like, why am I teaching this? Why am I teaching this? So I'm letting Scott have his room.
Thank you.
Control.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
And I'll allow that and keep teaching the long way. But even with the help that Scott gave me on the long way, it's shorter than what I was doing. So know that.
Nice.
Yeah, I love Audacity. People who don't like Audacity, I'm just like, you're just not using it right. I can help you with that. What about you, Bob? What have you done with Chat GPT this week?
I probably wrote at least 8 pages in the book so far. I'm up to,
Awesome.
I think it's 58 pages altogether. When I do the book form, it comes out different. But yeah, it's still cooking away. So,
Yeah,
and
good
I've got the cover page. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Let me show you what the front cover page looks like.
What was that excitement about, Steve?
Well, because there were a bunch of us on here that were supposed to sign in as Lisa tonight, and we forgot about that.
Oh, we did forget about that.
Yeah,
Dang
you
it.
did.
We were all going to be Lisa. I forgot about that. You got it. She got in trouble apparently last
I got
Sunday.
kicked out of the meeting
What?
because of these copycatters, and
It's
had
not
to,
too late.
right? And I had to like talk to Stephanie, and she's like, "Well, we knew it wasn't you. We just didn't know which one was you, so we threw them all out."
Which is
Wait.
reasonable.
On
And
Sunday?
then I talked to Jason, and I was like, "That was not me. It was not Alan," because he's like, "Oh, it must be Alan." And I was like, "What?" And then I went and looked at the chat, and right as I looked at the chat and saw all the garbage that was being posted under my name, they threw me out. I was like,
What was it? Where was this at?
it was a class with Jason Lynette.
Oh,
How was that?
I missed half of it because I was apparently I was apparently belching into the mic and writing nasty things in the chat.
Oh,
But that wasn't you.
No, that was not me.
And
No,
what
The
you,
only thing
and
I
was
put
this
in the
the,
chat
was this the
please
thing
mute
from,
yourself.
was this the thing from Hypno Thoughts?
Yeah.
That's going to be, that was recorded though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll have to pick up on that.
Yeah. And I wasn't the only one. They also did Tracy too.
There we go. There we go. Now we're all Lisa.
I need to do a print screen.
You mean they
Everybody keep
kicked
their
out
head up and
Tracy?
smile.
Tracy Kanan?
No, a different Tracy.
Different Tracy.
And I couldn't figure out
I
how to
can't do
like
the heart.
change my name either. I was like, what the hell? I know how to change my name. But I had my camera off because I was doing something else and I looked like a scrub. And if I would have had my camera on, then they probably would have not thrown me out because they know me.
Right.
Yeah, we're all Lisa today. So.
Yeah, we're all Lisa. We're all Lisa. Who's sharing screen?
Wow.
Lisa, are you sharing your screen, Lisa?
Yes, I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah, it's Lisa.
Jedi
Lisa's
training
Oh,
doc.
Lisa.
I like it. I like it.
What's this?
that is
Jedi
the
training doc.
that is the
This
cover
is
of the
made.
book.
Is this made by Midjourney or Blue Well?
Blue Willow.
Blue Willow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. I
Which
put
is
all this,
which is kind of a Midjourney knockoff.
yeah.
So you're not actually titling your book Jedi Training, right?
No. That's just a document that I have.
Working title.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow, did I screw that up? Did I just, and I can't get behind it.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute.
Just go to the other one. It disappeared.
All right, it'll come back.
Stop screen.
But-
sharing.
But yeah, this is basically what it came up with, and it's going to say decoding the secret self.
Nice.
Nice. Now, this looks like this doesn't look like a good ratio for a book cover. It doesn't look. It's not in the right shape.
Yeah, it looks square.
You can tell Blue Willow and Midjourney both what ratio you want the art in.
Okay, so eventually I can get to that, hopefully, and
Yeah, you can, or you could even you could crop part of this off to make it fit too. I mean, just however you needed to do it.
I just liked it because on the other side of that light is the secret
Yeah.
self,
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
and we're taking that journey.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Now in Blue Willow, the one thing I really like about Blue Willow is you own your art.
you own it. Yeah, this is
Right.
it.
Mid Journey is Creative Commons as far as I understand. So you don't have exclusive rights to it. We
Yeah, I
cannot
saw
hear
the
you,
interfa-
James. Oh, there you go. There you go. We can hear you.
I found the interface for Mid Journey very confusing. Like they wanted me to sign up, but I thought you could do it free. I was in their Discord for a little while using it for free, but
You
it
get
seemed
so
like
many for free. And
Yeah,
then
you
I
get
gotcha.
yeah.
I
But
found it
the
very crazy
price
making
for
their
it,
interface.
their price for it is incredibly inexpensive for what it does.
Yeah.
And when you pay for it, you can set it up in your own server. So you're not in the public rooms with, so many other people. It makes it a lot easier to use. Did you make this? Matt
Yeah.
is not the experience. I like that image.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even the messed upness of it kind of goes with it.
Mm-hmm. That's part of one of the chat. Well, that is a chapter. How everyone's interpretation of reality is different.
Let me know, Bob, when you need somebody to review your book. I love to review books because I hammer everybody when I tell them you should get better reviewers.
okay. So you just put
Oh,
yourself on.
absolutely, Steve. Thank you. The body speaks louder than words.
So what was the prompt that you gave them for this one?
Oof, I forget. It was man flying, or no, person flying, skies bright in background, and people below.
Huh. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is. And you can tell how he's not so perfect, in so many ways as well.
Yeah.
And then all these people behind. So even though he has no voice, his body tells all what he's doing, showing a power. Legs are crossed here. It could be symbolic as well. Could be. Doesn't have to be. So those were the things that let's see. I didn't do the other thing. Just see. I did figure it out, Lisa. Yes. If you paste with, we were talking about it last time,
Mhm.
paste with just words and not anything else in the background, it works out well. But here's a
I just go
sample.
over to text edit and then I bring it
Yeah, I'm going to do the same. I'm just getting as much information as I can. Let me just try and get this thing.
What about you, James? Did you do anything with GPT this week?
I
While
wrote
Bob pulls his
18,000
thing
words
up?
with ChatGPT 3.
You wrote 18,000?
Well, I had it right. I spent about 2 hours with prompts and just had it generating content. And I put it all in a Word document afterwards. It was 18,000 words.
So what was the structure of the content? What were you doing with it? If you can
It's
tell
about
us.
how to make an online course.
Oh, nice. So you were having it help you with the layout.
Yeah, I
and
was having
everything.
it
Okay,
help me.
gotcha.
So it's not perfect, but I think if I just flesh it out with personal stories and then, rewrite it like a human in some cases, maybe use Quillbot on it or something like that, I think it'll be okay. It's very fun to get a straw man out there and go, okay, that's not exactly what I want, but this is what I want. It's very helpful, I think.
I find that it's incredibly good for rewrite this thing I want to say and make it better.
Oh,
Mhm.
Like whatever it is I'm wanting to say, like I just put it in there and like rewrite this and make it better, and it does a lot.
yeah.
So
It
along
makes
those
the
lines,
language better.
there's a prompt that I heard about this. Somebody was doing on Instagram, but it was like, you give it all the things that you normally would, but say, I want you to generate 6 to 9 different versions of this in various styles.
Yeah.
And then put it in a table. So it would write the same prompt different ways with different styles. So you could pick which one you like the best.
So
I do it in my prompts, and when I ask it to write, I ask it to write in Ericksonian as well as NLP format. And then when it's done, and if I'm asking for a month's or whatever of social media posts, then if you have it, put it in a Excel format or a table format, and you save the file as a CSV, and you can import it into your Canva on your template, and it will just, and you have 30 social media posts just like that. So I don't know.
Yeah,
That's pretty awesome.
We're gonna need a demonstration video on that on that new YouTube channel, Steve.
You'll have it.
Yeah, we're gonna need that. So speaking of Colin, it looks like he's here, and we want an update on Netflix for comedy stage hypnotists. Whatever happened with that, man? Like we were talking about, you were going to do a video hosting service, and it was going to be like comedy Netflix, but for comedy stage hypnosis and stuff.
Oh yeah, we had a full description of all this, and we were literally waiting for you to come on because they were saying that you were going to let us know more in detail on what was exactly going to happen. Now, we don't want dates, and we don't want you to give away too much,
but
we want you to be careful.
You interrupted us right in the middle of a new section
from Steve with GoFunnel Box.
Nice.
I'm going to be able to move this project way faster, way further.
Awesome. Awesome. But yeah, we were in the middle of what we've come up with a new segment, you, me, and GPT. So what have you done with AI or Chat GPT this week to further your endeavors in hypnosis or hustling?
So with Chat GPT, I was able to get a lot of material for my laughter hypnosis project.
Awesome.
And it
I'll get on this. You're okay. You're okay.
It actually did a very good job of, my name has changed to Lisa.
Yeah. Everybody's Lisa this week. It's a long story.
Okay.
You can watch the recording.
Okay.
My name is
I'm quasi famous now.
Okay. But it actually did a really great job of capturing exactly what I was going to say. It just said it way freaking faster.
Amen.
Life's faster than I do. That's for sure.
So Lisa, I assume you've been continuing with the Tarot book.
Yes, I have 94, regular Word doc pages. And now I'm working through editing it and moving my edited portion over to a new doc. But I'm still using chat. I don't use it every day. But I used it to help me write some Facebook posts, which y'all have seen. And
awesome.
I used it to write some emails. And so, yeah.
There's a plugin called Merlin that's supposed to be good for writing, like responding to people on Facebook and things.
That's what I'm hearing. It's on Google. I heard, but I haven't done
I found a plugin today for WordPress. Wasn't even looking for it, that integrates Chat GPT and Dolly and one of the other image generators, and you put in all your API keys and it'll just like knock out content apparently. So
nice.
So I talked with a guy that works at WordPress or Automatic, one of the companies that is big in WordPress. He said they gave it their private coding library. So Chat GPT is good at writing WordPress things.
If you will, if it will do it,
WordPress.
If it'll do it, I couldn't get it to do it today. Like I've written three plugins with it in the past. Today it was like, as an AI language model, I am not qualified. And I'm like, well, you've done it before, try. And
that's
so
weird because he said it's scary good how
it is. It was astounding. It was astounding, but it didn't want to do it today. Kind of ticked me off. But so it said, this is the steps you should follow and lay me the steps. So I was like, okay, can you do step 1? And he did it. Can you do step 2? And he did it. And I'm like, yeah, but now I've got to put it all together. That's just an annoying extra step, but that's just, that's me. In other news, the other major thing I've done with Chat GPT this week is, so far I believe the count is up to 44 billion with a B hypnosis scripts.
Jesus.
So that's fun. That's with my audio recording program I'm going to make. I want to make sure they've got a nice script library that they can pull from. And so me, you and Chat GPT are knocking it out.
Yeah.
Oh.
And how will you be compensated for that?
What do you mean how I'm going to sell
Nice
it? The
job.
course? You mean the course?
Okay, you're going to do the course with the.
Yeah, I'm going to do the course. That's going to be one of the things that's included in it. Oh,
Nice. So
I'm doing-
this is really speeding up a lot of progress.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Really getting people to new levels. This is interesting.
Yeah. Oh.
I've also been hard at work with some AI video stuff.
Oh.
And if it does if I can get it to do what it's supposed to do, it is going to be game changing for me personally.
I would love to do it. It sounds like you're trying to keep that proprietary, but I would love to discuss that in private if you want.
Yeah, no,
I'm doing some stuff with video
Recording
too.
stopped.
Do you want to discuss it with the recording off?
No, because
All right.
for starters, I don't know if the product I'm working with is going to be able to pull it off. Okay. And so it's like I'm working on something. But it's like I haven't gotten it so that I can see that, okay, this is ready for prime time. I've managed to get scheduled a one-on-one chat with these people this week. And so hopefully that will get it across the finish line.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I just got back from an open mic.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched the video, so I don't know a lot of things. There's some folks who might not want me to share the video here, whether I've watched it or not, because I will tell you the piece of material I dropped at least a good solid 2 F-bombs a minute in this one.
Oh my goodness.
I think
Okay,
we're adults, so we can handle that.
Yeah, but for monetization purposes is what he's saying. I have no problem turning off the recording for a moment.
Okay, yeah. No, that's cool.
Yeah. If you want to pull the video up.
Yeah. And then
Dude, you're
That
too
was
much.
awesome.
Oh
Too
my
much,
God.
bravo.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
Wow.
And
We'll be
that's
going
why
up
you
on
want to be
my
here in
channel.
person. Awesome. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Hopefully with the better audio cutting.
Yeah, no, absolutely with a better audio.
Thanks for sharing though. That was great.
No. It was fun to do. And having only done hypnosis shows in that room before, it was, I've done a bunch of open mics, but there was something about being there that just made it all different. And I can't really describe it. In my world, straight comedy is far more challenging than comedy hypnosis. With comedy hypnosis, for starters, I got volunteers right there that I'm getting some instant feedback from. I know if I need to go one way or another, which, by the way, is part of why you cannot script these shows, because you're going to get punched in the mouth and you're going to have to make some changes on the fly. That's all there is to it, at least in my world. But it's definitely a different thing.
I mean, you never know when you're going to be up on stage and your partner's going to ask some lady to show her beaver. You never know. And you're
You
gonna have to
never
ad
know
lib.
that.
You're gonna have to ad lib, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
it happens.
Show us your coconuts.
Or have a volunteer look you dead in the eye when your then 17-year-old son is acting as your stage assistant. She looks you dead in the eye, and after giving her the word to spell harpoon, and she has spelled the word penis instead, she looks me dead in the eye and says, "Your penis is beautiful." I wasn't ready for that one.
I bet your son wasn't either.
Oh, he was, it's like, I can see, I'm trying to keep in the zone, and I'm watching him laughing so hard, he is literally falling out of his chair.
Was that part of his script, her script?
No.
She was a paid volunteer. We all
Yeah.
use
Yeah, we all
Yeah.
use those.
Yeah, we all use shields. Yeah, of course.
everywhere we go because
Yeah.
we get paid so much that we can
Yeah.
afford
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not. Oh my goodness.
That's good stuff right there.
Oh, yeah, we did a show in a chapel, and following your Christian comedian, we did our show in a chapel, and it with the high pitched roof, just like a bank has. They don't have pitched roofs, but they have tall roofs. Usually, it's like 2 stories. But the high pitched roof, Alan could not. He wasn't getting any audience feedback. He was like, were they just not into it? And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, they were rolling. I was like, you just got to watch the video because our camera, boom, it's out in the audience. So it gets all of it. And he was like, okay, you're right. You know, they were into it, but he was feeling, I was like, I was thinking in my head, like, why is he so off? Why is he so off? And it was because he wasn't getting the feedback from the audience, but I was watching him. I could see it.
Yeah. And one of the things that I'm really big on is I'm actually, let me put it differently. Something I'm death on is performers saying that they have a shitty audience.
No, that's not that. Yeah.
Okay. Because the thing is that no matter how bad a day every audience member has had, my job is to give them a fantastic day. And
Right.
if their energy is low, I need to do something to bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
And just because I can't hear it from the stage, I already know does not mean it's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just have to keep going and learning in that particular event.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. That's why I was like, why are you so, like, it doesn't matter if they're not having a good time, you have to have more of a good time for them to have.
Mm-hmm.
So, we don't do this for funerals.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a feeling that Colin would take that gig.
He would.
I would take what gig?
The funeral comedy hypnosis show gig.
So
So this one time, here it comes. Here it comes.
For a minute?
That is the most horrific story I have ever heard, Colin. Oh my God.
Which is why I'm laughing so hard.
That could only happen to you, Colin. That could only happen to you.
And what's the lesson I took out of this? I gave my son specific instructions to do the same thing when it's time for me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We should all show up. We should just all show up and do that.
I think we're gonna have to get David a bag though. We're gonna have to get it embroidered that says "shit I tripped over."
So then there's that.
And it's like that.
So what else have you been up to this week, Colin? Oh, before we get to that, the whole Lisa thing. Lisa was in Jason Linnett's webinar last Sunday for HTL for the calendar.
Uh-huh.
And there were a couple of other people who came in with the name Lisa and were putting bad stuff in the chat and were
Being
burping and
disruptive.
stuff, being disruptive and stuff. And so they all got kicked out. So there was multiple Lisas in there and they all got kicked out, including Lisa. So we decided we would all change our names to Lisa when she came on today and forgot. And then I changed everybody's names and yeah, so we're all Lisa. And so
Yeah.
anything
What
bad
did
that happens
Jason
is
say
Lisa's
about
fault.
you getting booted after that? Because I can only imagine.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I, everybody's like, well, how was the class? I don't know. I got kicked out.
That's hilarious though.
Was there a lot of people in there?
Yeah, like 60 people.
Wow.
So they all think I'm some kind. One of the comments was, why are you trying to frame me, you hooligans? I'm like, what? I'm reading that and I was like, I didn't type that. Why does it say that?
You're like, what? That wasn't me. I am the real Lisa.
But I didn't know what was happening. I wasn't watching the chat.
Yeah.
I could have turned my camera on and then, situation would have been resolved, but I had no idea. Yeah. Yep. So yes, I'm apparently a troublemaker.
Well,
So
we
I don't
already
know
knew
if this piece has been covered yet or not, troublemaker Lisa.
That's what you said today.
Are you going to step up and break up the sausage party and apply to?
Sure. What topic should I submit?
I mean, you've got
I
a
will
lot
tell
of
you
them you
what
could
I would
teach.
recommend you submit on.
Yeah, what are some things y'all would want to hear from a female's point of view?
Well, let me give you two things that I think you would be
What
great.
sausage party are you talking about?
The Performing Hypnosis online conference, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, there are no
because-
female presenters have applied.
Yeah. So the first thing
when
I
is
would
this?
that I would suggest is have a conversation about why performing hypnosis is so male dominated. And it's like, I think that's a conversation. I actually think that being female is an advantage more than a disadvantage in that space.
When I started hypnosis, it was just completely male dominated anyways.
Mhm.
I mean, there was Patty Collins. Blessings.
Thank you.
There was Patty Collins, but really I had never heard of any other like female hypnotists
Right.
on the people that I trained with.
Right. So I think that's one thing that would be a valid conversation. I think the other thing that I think is right in your wheelhouse is how the most important thing for starting performing hypnotists is getting on stage. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm sure there would be nothing self-serving at all
No, not at all.
about you doing that. Okay. But
I'm allowed a soft pitch, right?
it's like they're pretty open with people selling their stuff. I'm sure that it would be not possible for you to outdo Alex Smith
No.
on that one. But it's like, and if you are doing that, I will definitely be there if my schedule allows and supporting you.
What summit is this? What is this?
It's,
I think Sean just
Sean
put in the
posted
chat
that.
the link to it, the
Oh.
Performing Hypnosis Summit.
it's the 11th and 12th.
11th and 12th
Mhm.
of March.
So that's the just coming off the
And-
ICBCH thing.
And you're teaching something there, right, Colin?
I've got two that I'm doing.
Oh, you're doing two.
Yeah. One is call it comedy hypnosis instead of stage hypnosis.
Only if you're funny.
You're not funny. What are you doing?
I'm
So
gonna
funny
drop
looking
bombs
kids.
as
No sense.
usual. There will be China broken. And the other is comedy for hypnotists.
Mhm. Yeah, I was thinking of submitting my HR rated hypnosis shows, and I guess I could revamp my 10 things you should know.
I guess I could jump in there and do a class on how to make recordings to sell at the back of the room after your shows.
Whatever happens, I'm damn sure gonna misgender Colin while I'm there.
You miss what? You're gonna
So,
miss. Oh,
Steve
miss.
posted a comment in the group asking, why the hell does everybody who's presenting have a dick? Well, he said it.
I think it was a bit more tactful than that, but
I
possible.
was like, that was not the comment, but yes.
Okay, well, you know what? I can't remember the exact quote, so I'll make it spicy.
Yeah, that was spicy. That's
fair
spicy.
enough.
You did.
I did.
I do the
And,
same. I do the same thing with
My
studies.
genitalia.
I do the same thing with studies. When I can't remember the exact study, I make it spicy. Yeah.
And so I responded with outrage, asking Steve what made him decide it was okay to assume my gender.
Oh,
And that's
I think
why
it's-
we say the person that I am touching now.
Well, I replied back. I was like, Colin, I know your gender, but just don't ask me how I know your gender.
Well, just
I
out of
think it's funny that y'all think Colin has a gender. Anyways,
Agenda?
what gender? Yeah, a gender. Yeah. What were you saying, James?
It was Joe.
Joe.
Oh, it was Joe. Okay.
yeah,
Lisa.
the other
What
Lisa.
were you saying,
The
Lisa?
other Lisa. Right. No, I was just curious. Is there like some sign hung out on any of the hypnosis academies or any of the bookstores that say no women can study at these places, or is I'm just curious.
is it a stage thing though? Because I think it's 60-40 when I go to conferences. It seems like there's more women than men.
No,
Yeah.
when it comes to performing hypnosis,
Yeah.
It is absolutely male dominated.
Absolutely.
Now, I agree with Lisa. I think that previous years it was even more so that way. And I think there are specific gigs, and I know a lot of clubs go out of their way on the comedy side to try and hire women comedians, and
Yeah.
it is a struggle for them in comedy, which this brings us all to the conclusion that women just aren't funny.
That's
I
You know what I'm
think that
saying.
women are perfectly capable of being funny.
Yeah.
I just think they don't. Maybe they don't have as much desire to do so in front of a audience.
Well, you know what I
Maybe.
said.
What?
We are comedy stage hypnotists. Alan's funny. I'm pretty.
Yeah. Well, we don't know for certain how funny you are, but we definitely know that Alan's not the pretty one. So.
You haven't seen him with eyeliner on, okay?
This is true. I haven't seen him with eyeliner on.
I have.
That's true. You have.
And I wasn't wearing a dress or high heels or anything at the time either. So
He wasn't wearing anything. All he had on was eyeliner.
eyeliner.
That's a
Well,
visual I don't
sure.
need.
I'm sure that did not improve his appearance for you.
He pretty much leaves his hat on, but you know what I'm saying.
Kinky.
We go. We're going down that road.
I have to tell you guys. Okay, so here's the funny story. Because yes, we met at Hypno Thoughts Live, and
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, we did. He was in his little, like super tight pants with all the zippers and the buttons and like the jacket and the hat and all that. Like, okay, cool. So like it's going good. We go on a couple dates. He's gonna come down to San Diego and we're gonna go on like a weekend date, like a 24-hour date. And he shows up and he is not this little rock star guy with all the energy in the tight pants. He is grandpa in a Hawaiian shirt, cargo shorts, socks, and sandals. And that was almost the end of our relationship.
I mean, if it survived that, it could probably survive anything.
I was like, "Wait, who are you?" So yeah.
As guys, we totally understand that. We've all had that experience.
I've got a guy right now that's 66 and he's still trying to get divorced, but he's actively dating. And there's a term for it. I forget what it was, but he gets
Playboy?
these the term that he there's
Awesome.
a term.
The term's awesome. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, there's a term for what I'm about ready to tell you, and that is so he sees the picture, he talks to her on the phone, and then he goes on a date. And as he's pulling up and he gets out of the car and he looks at her, she's 10 years older.
Okay.
Oh, he thinks he's being catfished.
That's what it is. I
Yeah.
knew somebody come up with it.
When I was, they thought I was being my friends that I was like, oh, I have a date, and they're like, oh, you're getting catfished. I was like, I'm not getting catfished. I know this person in real life.
Yeah, in my opinion, that does not rise to the level of catfishing.
No,
That
catfishing is-
rises to the level of
Deception.
bullshitting.
well,
Okay.
yeah, you got some filters on, right?
Yeah.
Catfishing would be Scott puts up a profile on Tinder and uses my face. That's catfishing.
And then I try to get money from guys, to pay for gas to come to the date.
Yeah.
Like I bet you every person in here has had those messages. And
We call that one gold fishing.
Yeah, exactly. What? Gold fishing. Wow.
Oh my
Get
God.
the cash.
I mean, I was shocked when he told me that. I'm like, I can't believe that.
Nobody looks like
But the
their
question is, did he
picture
continue
online,
with the
Bob.
date, or did he turn around? That's the question.
Well, I told him I
I
would have
mean-
left. I just would have got in my car and left. But
I
no,
mean,
he had dinner and he talked. And then she said, oh, you want to get together? And he goes, no.
So, I mean, okay, how vain is that he was basing it on that she didn't look exactly like her picture?
well, no, see, he still went to the date. So I'm sure by the time the date was over, he was like, no, like there was more. Like
There was
he didn't
more.
base it. He didn't base it on like he was still like, no, I'll go on the date, and then like through the date, she didn't do anything that made him go, yeah, sure. No, he was just like, no, I'm out.
Strike
Yeah.
one.
Right.
He gave a few more strikes. Okay.
Exactly. See?
And he traveled an hour to get there. So he was not happy.
I know I'm one of those. I've not done the online dating thing. So I don't know.
That was interesting though. I didn't think I guess it
I
could happen.
actually have shown up at shows and people have complimented me that I look like my picture online. And I say, thank you. Of course, I have to redo the postcard that I give out to the kids because that was taken probably like 10 years ago. And a kid at the show said, you look so much younger here. He actually said that. I said,
What you should say? It's a magic trick.
it's a magic trick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic. We have an entertainer that has all of his promo is definitely 25, 30 years. Like if they wouldn't recognize you, the funny thing is because I have promo shots and people that know me look at these promo shots and go, that's not you. And I'm like,
Me, I've told you that one of your promo shots. I'm like, that
no.
doesn't even look like you.
No, it
You're not
doesn't.
the only person that said that about that photo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, no, it is me and it wasn't that long ago. So yeah.
Like I think you got Mandela. That didn't really happen. That's someone else. And Alan is a hypnotist. He hypnotized you, made you believe it was you. Like when you look at it, you see yourself because you've been hypnotized too. And the rest of us are like, why is Murphy Brown in this photograph? You know?
Oh, man.
I have multiple pictures from that photo shoot, that same photo shoot. With the car even. So
Oh.
that's some of my Miss T photos.
I have to get up early tomorrow, so I'm going to take off. But Scott will hook up. And David, We
What's the word?
are, I think he just disappeared.
No, it just his camera. He's still there.
Oh. I'm going in Wednesday. I'll be flying in Wednesday. Are you coming in then too, or?
I'm coming in Wednesday afternoon.
Okay,
And the conference starts like 9 o'clock in the morning. So that's
Yeah.
why I want to get in there Wednesday afternoon. And staying through, through Saturday, but right after the last class, I'll get picked up and whisked away back to
yeah, I leave Sunday
House of
morning.
Mouse. Excuse me.
Okay, I leave Sunday morning, so,
All right, so we'll
But
get
yeah.
together at least
Yeah,
once.
absolutely.
It's not that big of a conference. That's one of the
no,
nice.
it's really small.
That's one of the nice things I liked about it last year was that at Hypno Thoughts Live, it's like,
Yeah,
what, 1,000 people last year?
oh yeah, we'll run definitely running each other.
Yeah, so
All right, have a good night.
have a
All
good
right,
night.
Bob.
See you on
Hey, I
too,
still
see you
Bob.
want
on
to catch
Wednesday.
up with you and hear about your training.
Yes, I will
I'd like to hear that
definitely.
as well, but it's on the recording, isn't it?
No,
Okay.
No, about the training on stage hypnosis that Bob did.
Ah,
Right,
oh, yes.
Bob did a training on stage hypnosis. Oh, the one he took. The one he
It
took.
wasn't
Okay,
stage
gotcha.
hypnosis, it was speaker training, right?
it was corporate speaking training, yeah. Corporate
Okay.
yeah,
speaking
I would love to hear about that, Bob.
Now,
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
cows.
Cows. Gotta go.
so all right, Bob.
All right.
We'll see you
Have a-
later.
All right, have a good night.
All right.
See you.
You
See
too,
you.
David.
Take care.
Yeah, they're on the East Coast.
Yep, you're on the
Yeah, it's
West
late,
Coast.
getting
I'm
late
on
for
the
me
West
too.
Coast. Barely the sun went down.
Colin's on the East Coast too, but
Yep.
he's younger, so he
Wow.
can hang a little longer.
We're entertainers.
Yep.
Like sleep, what's that?
Like, we don't get up at 5 in the morning.
That's
What?
that's
Oh,
the
I
nap
do.
that's the nap you take before you go on stage, right?
Yeah.
In the nap before show.
I just can't believe you guys are always assaulting my ears with all those bad words and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
My virgin ears.
this is not a PG class. That's what I
No, it
was
is not.
Yeah.
Though we do learn a lot in here, this technically isn't even a class. A class has a teacher. We learn from everybody. It's way better
It's
than
a
a class.
mastermind. It's a mastermind.
Exactly.
I actually discovered something tonight about Zoom that has
Well-
frustrated me for years.
What is
Not
that?
not to be rude, but occasionally I want to look at something not on Zoom. And there have been times that I have clicked away from the Zoom screen and there's been no sound.
Oh, yeah, you said
And
that.
then when I click back into Zoom, there is sound again. And I couldn't
Okay.
figure out what the hell was going on. Excuse me, my language. And
Oh,
tonight
yeah.
I realized that if you go into the Zoom settings and bring up the audio settings and turn off the audio when you're in Zoom, and then click out, if you're out of Zoom and you click like the mute button in the settings, that's always going to be the setting when you're out of Zoom.
Ah,
So I realize that when I'm like right now, I have a different, screen highlighted and I'm
I'll be
still
back,
hearing
guys.
you guys.
I'll be back, guys.
And just that had frustrated me since I've had Zoom because it was so random. It seemed to me that that would happen. So just tonight was a learning experience for me.
so you found the setting and you solved the problem. Good.
Awesome. Oh, and by the way, I was
Scott
more or
is
less
away.
fanning being sensitive.
We
there,
can
David.
put some stuff into the recording
Oh,
that he will see later.
so I heard Scott was going to show up at Hypno Thoughts Live in the tight, skinny jeans that Alan was wearing.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
And I heard that he was going to wear his Speedo too to the pool party. So
I'm in.
We could find
Oh,
those
yeah,
like
yeah.
Hypno Swirl Speedos. That would be great.
They don't have a replacement at Hypno Thoughts Live for the Hypno Bowl, do they?
Not that I've heard of yet. I mean, they're I don't know what their plans are. I know we have a pool party. And
That's Ken Guzzo's, though.
and a keynote
Technically.
and some other things, but I'm just about, I'll be there. It's my thing. We could all go descend on the Orleans and go bowling.
But I thought you had to do the boot camp at that same time.
No, boot camp's not at the same time.
I think there was something else at the same time that you had discussed.
There's a fair in Oregon, and so boot camp ends. I'm going to Vegas, and Alan is going to Oregon.
Okay.
And then actually we're going to do 2 boot camps this year. So there is one after Hypno Thoughts.
I saw Fargo, North Dakota, and Oregon,
Washington.
Washington.
Mhm.
I love Fargo, North Dakota. Bring your Lefska.
Can't eat that stuff.
So you were saying you and Alan are going to go different places after the first boot camp?
Yes,
Is that what I
going to
missed?
Thoughts. He's going to Oregon. And then we're having another boot camp after Hypno Thoughts in Washington. So I mean, honestly, the Fargo one is 10 days. That is like the deal of the century and may not be repeated. So if any, on the fence about getting on stage, seriously getting on stage, that's the one.
And what's the price point for that? All
Now,
in.
$3,500.
It's
I was just there, Lisa. I saw the post. So
And what's
33, but there's a $400
oh,
discount or something.
I think there was an early bird deposit and then payment plan or something.
nice?
$33.95 all in on Red River. If you don't do the early bird, you will save $400 if you do the early bird deposit. And then Washington is $30.95.
As an alumni, Colin, totally worth it.
Absolutely.
You have to read his comments, Scott.
Especially for 10 days.
Yeah, 10 days is like, oh
Mhm.
Jesus.
So how many shows does somebody start? How many students are you taking?
I don't know. We don't
You don't
want
know?
to. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't know. There may be a couple of alumni that come, but they won't come in the very beginning. So
Okay.
the new people will get full attention in the beginning. Probably limiting it to 6.
How many shows are you gonna get in that 10 days if you come? Probably 3, 4, 5 more.
We try to get everybody on stage every day that they're there.
So 10 shows.
Potentially, you could do 10 shows.
That's awesome.
Wow. That's a lot of shows.
So the other boot camp, you get 5 shows.
Now, when you say you get everybody on stage, you got 6 people. You're not doing 6 shows a day, right? So you're not doing the whole show, or are you doing 6 shows a day?
Yes.
You're doing 6 shows a day.
We've had
Yeah.
some students towards the end where they did a tag team, but they'd already done 5 solo shows.
You're just gonna get the Hypno Thoughts and like sleep for the first 48 hours just to recover. Like, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, and we watch every single show that you do. We record every show that you do, and we watch every show that you do. We take notes. From safety standpoints, from like make it funnier standpoints, from don't ever effing do that again standpoints, whatever it is that you need to bring your show up. And we'll take pictures of you on stage, we'll take pictures of you off stage, talk about costuming, we'll talk about, and this year we're doing 2 private Zooms beforehand to like kind of make sure everybody's up to speed before we get there.
Yeah.
And
what is up to speed?
so making sure that you feel comfortable with your pre-talk, making sure that you feel comfortable with your induction, that you're not planning to go out there and do a 30-minute induction.
So making sure you've hypnotized your teddy bears at least a couple of times.
Your teddy bears are hypnotized. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a lot. We want to make sure the people that are there, the people that need to be there, the people that are going to get the most out of it. If you've never hypnotized anybody before, this probably isn't the class for you. If you have never been on stage and never hypnotized anybody before, this is probably not the class for you. So, it's making sure the right people are there, making sure that we can also give them what they need. Some people need more hand holding, some people need shoved off the dock, as other students have said. We take you to the end of the dock, we shove you in the water, and we stand there with the life preserver just in case. But
Have you ever had to take over a show that someone was just not, froze
That's such a
or
good
for whatever
question.
reason?
Yeah.
Alan had one boot camp where the guy did walk off stage and dropped the mic behind the stage, and he took over the show. I have not. I have done a duo show with someone because they wanted to. Not as their first show, but later they're like, "Hey, it'd be fun. Let's do a duo show." And I have had to, go up and be the assistant, removing chairs and things like that. But I've never taken the mic away from someone and taken over their show.
Oh, that's good.
Right? It's a good thing. Yeah. That one was different. The one that the guy did that. And he left and went to his hotel room and just sat there and worked on what he needed to work. And he came back the next day and he was on it. Like,
Good.
so that's why we want to do some of this beforehand. Just one of the things that we've learned that people need to, they think they've got it, and then they get up there, they go, I don't know what I'm doing.
Mhm.
So we want to make sure that they're comfortable too when they get there, so they can get the most out of it, so they can leave and do a show.
Do lots of shows.
Yeah. So, everybody in the last couple of boot camps have actually done shows and made their money back. And some of the previous boot campers are professionals now, and they've asked not to be outed as boot campers. So
Aw,
Really?
Colin doesn't care. Yeah, there's
No, I mean, listen, I have trained in my entire hypnosis career with so many different people. I've actually, quite honestly, lost track.
Yeah.
And that I have learned from, on just the performing hypnosis side, from you, Michael C. Anthony, Rich Guzzi, God knows how many books I read. That counts too. And then all the comedy training that I do, that's like a totally different major in this university PhD I'm seeking. Okay. It's like, I'm happy to admit who all trained me. There's somebody who saw the mortgage broker show that I did, who had seen Rich Guzzi's show. Now, I want to preface this with my response first, which was, That's not possible. He's been doing this for 30 years. And what this person said to me was, your show is way better than Rich Guzzi's. And I responded, that's not possible. He's been doing this for 30 years. My show isn't better than his. What my show is different from his.
Yes.
And that, it's like, I go to Rich Guzzi's show.
And have a good
because
time.
if Rich Guzzi was doing my show, why would I bother going to it? It's different, and that's okay. And it's like, and I even told this guy, listen, Rich Guzzi is one of the people who trained me. I learned a lot from Rich Guzzi. I have respect for Rich Guzzi. And so it's like, I'm not ashamed that somebody who knew more, had been doing it longer, trained me.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
who the hell else are you supposed to get training from? Like,
oh, you
who
didn't
else-
hear? It's supposed to be a gift.
right? No. Let me guess. You're supposed to get training from the guy who couldn't cut it himself, so decided to make a program, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
there's
from,
places where the
Jonathan
old
Boyle.
there's places where the old adage, those who can't teach. There's places where that's true, and
Yeah.
but you certainly want to get your training from someone who can and who has.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I agree. And yeah, I'm like, that's fine. I mean, I took a lot of training in my life, and I probably don't even remember all of the people in the last 20 years, but the people that in the 30 years and in the years prior to that, I definitely remember them because they were a bigger impact. I mean, I took stage training from Orman McGill.
Wow.
That's that's saying something, man. Like,
I'm not gonna say it either.
Yeah.
And he was still walking and doing shows at that time.
Don't make it worse, Lisa. Just be quiet now.
There are secrets to my success, and one of them is sunblock.
Wow.
the others is, well, it pays to be a witch.
Right. Ah. So yeah, I mean, yes, I took training with him. I took training with James Russell, who none of y'all know. But if you ask Don Spencer who James Russell is, he knows.
How are you assuming none of us know? I mean, Steve's really old too.
Hey,
he's
hey,
not-
hey.
But he's not from San Diego or Montana. So, yeah. Trying to think who else. Brian
So I
Davis.
I was playing around with my my GoFunnel box, and I had to enter in some random data into my email list, so I didn't have my people showing up. So when I was-
did you talk to him about getting a dummy site for your tutorials? Did they
yeah, I
not
just
get back
got
to you?
on it. So he gave me
Okay.
a dummy site,
See, I told you he would.
and
Yeah.
so I put in, this is trivia, so let's see how good you guys really are. So this is a person that I put on my list. Roy Hinckley.
Isn't that the guy that tried to assassinate
That's Mark.
Reagan?
Yeah, wrong Hinckley.
Yeah.
Wrong Hinckley.
So for us older people, you would know Roy Hinckley as the professor on Gilligan's Island.
Okay.
Oh,
So when I entered the staff of Gilligan's Island into my thing, I put Roy Hinckley, and everybody's like, "Who's that?" And I was like, "Well, they call him the professor, but his real name on Gilligan's Island was Roy Hinckley. That's not his
oh,
real
that was
name.
the character's name.
That was the character's.
Oh, okay, because I'm thinking that I don't think that was the actor's name.
No.
Interesting.
But so I was like, yep, I know I'm old now.
Only if you did it in black and white. Seems to me I remember some of those shows being in color.
Yeah, well, that's if you had a color television. First time I watched The Wizard of Oz was on a black and white television.
Yeah, me as well.
Kind of hard to
Didn't
follow
get the
the
same
yellow brick
effect.
road when it looks gray.
Did they used to have black and white TVs?
Yeah.
I
Back when
thought
you
there
were
was that
little.
color.
My first television was black and white, but that's not because I'm old. It's just because the television was. What did I care? I'm colorblind, so what did I care?
The first movie I saw in a theater was Jaws, followed by Star Wars. So
Oh, I saw Star Wars. I stood in line for Star Wars. I'll tell you.
I think the first movie I saw in theaters was E.T.
That was after Star Wars.
I know.
that was an 80s movie.
Guys, you guys are all youngins.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I saw.
Well, tell us what play you saw, David.
What play?
Was
what
was
play
it directed by Shakespeare himself?
I
Well,
was at the first Star Trek convention that Leonard Nimoy ever attended.
Wow.
It was probably about 2 years after the show ended, and he was a surprise. I mean, no one knew that he was going to be there. But I saw I don't think I saw, I didn't see Dr. No. I'm pretty sure I saw Goldfinger in the original release of Goldfinger, whenever that was. It was probably 66 or 67. Yeah, so I'm old. I mean,
yeah.
When I went to computer science, when I learned computer science at Stony Brook, they were still using punch cards, tape
Fortran.
and stuff like that. What?
Fortran.
Fortran. Well, yeah, Fortran was used. But
I learned basic.
you're about to say Lisa?
You're all Lisa today.
Colin was about to say something.
No. What I was about to say is, speaking of television, and I don't want to call this childhood trauma because I've seen people who had really, really awful, evil, tragic shit to them happen to them. And so, but this was something that caused me a lot of childhood pain. I kind of got something that altered the context of all that this week. When I was in about first grade, and I was raised in a non-denominational evangelical household. My mom and dad, we lived in Topeka, Kansas. They drove an hour every night, Monday through Friday, 1 week, to attend this seminar. The seminar was called the Institute for Basic Youth Conflicts. They got this big red binder. It was led by a guy by the name of Bill Gothard. And so after going to this, they come back and sit my now deceased sister and I down and said, so we attended this conference, and as a result, we're going to make some changes. And because what we learned, this is all scriptural. And those words, it's scriptural, rank right up there with it's for the children, and you can trust me, and that kind of thing.
You'll thank me later.
Yeah. And so the first thing that happened is my dad took the TV and threw it in the trash. It was made crystal clear that music with a certain type of beat, which basically encompassed all rock and roll, all popular music, was verboten. It wasn't scriptural. They were going to do some different things in their marriage. And my sister and I were both expected to start dressing differently. And oh, by the way, this dude who is giving parenting and marriage advice is to this day still single. And he brags about how he has never even kissed a woman or touched her in any sexual way. As you can tell, these changes had really went well with me. They got exactly the desired result, which is why I just went on stage in front of 150 people and said, fuck, 2 times a minute in a 5-minute long set. And so, but then I find out this week that Bill Gothard has been removed from the Institute of Basic Youth Conflicts. Now, it was due to some inappropriate relationships in his position. Now, I thought, okay, that's no surprise. I've kind of guessed for decades that this guy likes other guys. Okay, that seemed to be the obvious conclusion. When you are bragging about how you have never touched another woman, there's a reason for it. And when people do that, it falls into the whole, to reference Shakespeare again, me think the lady doth protest too much. Turns out he was touching women, staffers, conference attendees, and teenage girls. He ended up with dozens of sworn affidavits. And the tragedy of all of this is just like with Harvey Weinstein. And believe me, I get that it's painful to come out that you have gone through something like this. I'm not denying that. But all those women who this happened to first, whether it was this Bill Gothard character or Harvey Weinstein or Bill Cosby, they enabled these monsters to continue on. And I get why they did it. I'm not taking that away from them. I understand it. I just wish that in all these cases, people had stepped up. Kevin Spacey too, to go the other way with it. But it's like, but hearing that this week, it put a whole different context in something that caused a lot of pain when I was a child and still has an impact on me today. And it honestly was kind of liberating.
Not to get
So-
too deep into this,
Pendulum swung you the other way.
not to get too deep into this, but the mind will, when you suffer trauma like that, your mind is trying to process it. And many times it buries it for
Understood.
years.
Absolutely.
And I know firsthand because I was driving in my car. I was 27, 28 years old. And I think Louis Anderson had just written a book about his life and how his father had sexually abused him. Now I'm driving along and he's describing, and I'm thinking to myself, my father did that to me. And I buried it for 15, 16 years. Did not even think about it. I had this idyllic childhood in my life, in my mind rather.
Yeah.
And, it definitely affects me today.
I'm certain of it. And that's why what I just described is situations like that I don't want to call what I went through in all that is childhood trauma. Okay. It caused pain.
But it is in a way abuse.
Oh, it absolutely was abuse. And I want to be clear. It's like, I do make a distinction between when someone's subconscious mind says, I need to protect you, and you are going to be unable to consciously remember this until you're ready for it. I make a distinction between that and someone making a conscious decision to keep the secrets.
Mhm.
It's like that is absolutely a big differentiator.
But there's also, say, I don't know how old you are. I mean, when I was growing up, there were things that you just didn't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the whole thing about suddenly there appeared to be more gay people. There were probably the same number of gay people, but now they're freer to open up about it.
Mm-hmm.
And the same way with abuse, people are more open to talk about it. And sometimes though I think it swings in the opposite way when someone makes a comment or something and the other person takes it to an extreme. I think it can go the other way.
Mm-hmm.
There's an overreaction. So it's a difficult subject. It's definitely.
Yeah, no question. No
Yeah.
question.
Mhm. So how about them Mets?
They are really good on a color TV.
Yeah.
I was looking to see if I had the picture of me with Orman, and it's not in the book, but I do have a signed copy.
Wow. That's probably worth $1 or $2. My copy is not signed. It's even water damaged.
Oh, this one
of my
is,
kids spilt something on it at some point.
this is Hypnotism and Mysticism
I don't
of
have that one.
India. Yeah, don't.
No, not that good.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't been able to get past page 3.
Wow, not past page 3. That's saying something right there. Here, that's your review is basically the best thing about this book is it's signed.
It's signed.
We can't hear you, Lisa. Come on, Steve. No.
Said I gotta go let the dog out.
Oh, now we know who did it. Now we know who did it.
I'm going to sign off. It's late for me.
All right. We'll see you later, David. Next
All
week.
right.
It's been great.
Yeah, it's 10:10 here too, so I should
Yeah.
bounce as well.
All right. We could all just leave and only have Steven here when he gets back. That'd be funny.
I'm gonna share a photo.
Yeah. Let's see it. Let's see it.
See here.
I know this week, Lisa, there will be some video on Sound Savvy School. So
Dang.
you will have something to go and
Oh,
look at.
how pretty.
I can't.
So that's Black Lake, somewhere near Black Lake, Saskatchewan. And just to give you an
Hey.
idea of where that is, that's where I live in Yorkton. That's Black Lake.
You might need to call the repairman. It looks like your sky's broken, man. Like,
No, that's the sky is working
I
properly.
had a color TV that did that once.
You take
You
a
have to
magnet?
suffer with
Yeah.
checking that
Yeah,
out
you-
at night.
You had to pull it
John?
back out with a magnet.
Decals.
Yeah.
That's all the way down where you're at, Sean. That
No,
No,
that's
this is way farther north.
all the way farther north. Okay.
That's me. That's Black
Alright.
Lake.
You'd have to
This-
drive a whole day straight. To get there.
Jesus, like,
okay.
so is it 23 hours and 30 minutes because it's a
70.
long ass way, or because it's ice and you can only drive 5 miles an hour?
No, that's just how long it takes. Some of those
Oh.
roads aren't really roads.
All right, you guys have a
All
great
right.
week.
Yeah,
too.
you too. You too.
Right. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
OnStar, sir, are you in distress? It appears you are in the middle of a lake.
Yeah, no, this is Canada's big, you know. I don't know if you know
On that
but-
map, you can't even see where I live. Like it's lower than your map goes down.
Yeah,
Yep.
me too.
You see where it says California? Below that. Yeah, right about where you're, and then over towards the coast a little bit more. Yeah, right about there. That's where I live.
That's where you live?
Right
For-
about
For some reason I thought you lived up north of that. Thought you were like further north in California. I don't know.
I live
You know,
about
if you go just a little more east, Lisa, you'd be in heaven.
okay. So there's San Diego.
Yeah.
I live about 30 minutes north of San Diego on that
Okay.
yellow line. Not the one that goes up the coast, the one that goes like kind of straight up that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, where I live. Getting warmer.
Are we geoguessing? Are we
Right
geoguessing?
Escondido. That's where I live.
Escondido.
Escondido. Right next to San
Let's-
Marcos.
Let's
I had a
what
great
do they
aunt that
call
lived
it?
right next to there.
Yeah,
La Mesa.
see, you should be using your OBS to do this, Sean, because then we can see your pretty face down in the corner.
Well, I don't live in Emerald Hills.
See?
That's far.
Yeah, I had a great aunt that lived over there near right next to Escondido.
San Marcos, Vista, Oceanside, Powell. There's a lot of things next to Escondido.
I think you might be closer to me, Sean, than you are to that lake.
Almost. Let me check.
Amarillo, Texas, if you didn't know. I think you did. But
By 2 hours.
you're closer to me by 2 hours.
Yep.
Well, shoot, you're
Dang.
only 21 hours away from me. You should swing down when you go have lunch.
You can do that.
Yeah.
with emails.
I'll beam down right away.
Yeah, beam down right away. Yeah, I know me and Steve are probably going to be doing a lot of audio recording this week. I don't know what everybody else is doing. I'm going to be getting my money's worth out of GPT. Put it that way.
Mhm.
I wasn't able to go into OBS later today. I'll get this new mic hooked up and play around with the filters in there, see how it sounds before I start doing any recordings, but I might
Okay.
holler at you.
Yeah. Well, hit me up. I'm probably going to you hit me up tomorrow. Hit me up tomorrow.
Yeah, tonight.
Not tonight.
I'm hopping on with Bob to do some YouTube stuff tomorrow morning at 8 apparently, and should have a little time after that. But as long as the wind calms down a little bit, I plan on doing a whole bunch of recordings tomorrow. But you can't hear it, but it sounds like I'm on my way to see the wizard. So yeah, it's like if there's a tornado outside, it would not surprise me. I guarantee you I'll have damage to take care of tomorrow with these winds.
We've had it here too. People's pagodas and
It's probably 70 to 80 mile an hour straight line winds out there right now. So it's that time of year. We get it this time of year every year. So
we have it's gonna get down to 41 degrees here. 39 apparently.
If it gets up to that, I'll be happy.
It's 47 right now. It doesn't tell me.
yeah, don't get started talking about temperature. Sean's gonna try to win. Sean's
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
try to
yeah.
win.
Sean's like, I win.
Mile-an-hour winds right now.
Hey, Sean, I don't know if I trust that transporter because I don't think Scotty's there. Just saying.
No, I'll have to say beam me up, Lisa.
What's that?
I'll have to say I'll have to say, beam me up, Lisa.
Hey, there you go.
My trans.
I was
trans-
thinking Scotty, the old Scotty. He's not on
Yeah,
that
yeah,
version of
we got it.
ship you're on.
Said,
Yeah.
We caught up.
Yeah, that'd be LaForge or Barkley
Yeah.
beaming you there.
So
Yeah.
Or
I don't know if I
Brian.
trust you.
Or
Miles
you
O'Brien.
have Groove too. Groove just sent out a thing for their own AI.
who?
Who did?
Groove.
Groove?
Yeah.
Okay, what's their AI do?
I don't know, but it's $900 and it will be live September 1st.
Well, that's a little ways away.
Yeah.
Well, that's how Mike does it.
This is gonna be my new YouTube thumbnail.
We
Which-
said
which
it
one?
started screen sharing.
Don't even, Mr. Yeah, I think that might not be the best one. I think that might not be the best one. Who
Is
is that?
That's my partner in crime.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
She said I could use it for our YouTube because we did like YouTube videos.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, you can use that.
Get it. You might want to get it off of your screen background before your wife gets home.
She's seen it. So I've got to have all these different people in my life. So I've got the young mother that's living with us now with her daughter, and my wife was on the phone. We were sitting here, and I had her in the background. She was getting ready to cook dinner, and my wife's at my daughter's house trying to figure out how to. They broke the lid off the dipstick that went in the engine, and she's like, how do I get this out? And I was like, drill a hole in the top of it and pull it out. And she goes, I was like, she's got a boyfriend, have him do it. And she's like, yeah,
Or
he's not that kind of guy that can fix things. And I was like, excuse me?
maybe a little dab of like some super glue on something and pull it out and get a new one. That might be a
You know what?
female
That may
solution.
not be a bad idea. But she'd have to clean it out. It's all covered in oil. So I'd have to figure out if she could
Yeah,
clean
you'd
it
have
off.
to clean it all up. And
Yeah.
definitely not get the glue on anything else, but
Yeah.
nail glue.
Yeah, she took it to get the oil changed today, and they changed the oil, and they're like, well, your dipstick's stuck down in there, it's broken. And I was like, well, how do they know if they got the oil right or not?
They
Whoa,
just took the old stuff out and put the new stuff in.
Yeah,
They know the right amount.
3 quarts came out. We put 3 quarts back in for you.
Oh yeah. Hopefully they didn't do it that way.
yeah, that's not. Oh. No, the dealer will charge you a pretty penny for that.
Yeah, that's why I said, don't, I was like, it's gonna cost $400 or $500.
I mean, does it still have the top with like the gap stop on it, or is it totally broken?
Yeah, that's broke. The dipstick is like, it's, that whole piece was broke off what you just mentioned, and it was just like it looked like a freeze plug stuck in there. Not a hole,
Oh,
but
no, so the stop gap is there.
yeah,
It's not just the metal.
no.
Yeah, I would get like a chopstick or something, put some glue on it and get on the stop gap and then,
That's a good
wait a
idea.
minute.
Jesus
Just
Christ.
don't overdo it with the glue or you'll glue it all in.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But yeah, you can pull that cork out.
But she was such a good, and my wife,
Nice
bless her
one.
heart. She's like, well, how do I change the windshield water pump? And I was like, you got to pull the right front tire off and pull the wheel well out, and it sits right there. And it's just plastic. It's just wedged in there. I was like, disconnect the electrical connect. And she's like, okay. And I was like, again, get her boyfriend to do it. And she's like, yeah, no.
I needed to get my alternator replaced one time, and I don't have the physical strength
Uh-huh.
to turn the bolts. And my husband had been he had a surgery, so he wasn't allowed to do any pressure on anything because he got his eye socket shattered. So I called his brother and I was like, hey, I need you to come over and change my alternator. And he goes, I don't know how to do that. And I said, well, I know how to do that. I need your muscles to do it. It's 3 bolts. And he did it. And he goes, that was really freaking easy. And I was like, yeah, if you know what you're doing.
I don't understand kids these days. I was like, you've got to be able to be handy at something. So,
Or at least know what you're doing so that when you take it someplace, they don't completely screw you.
Yeah, that's the big one right there.
So, yeah. Oh, I'm
All right,
sorry.
so I am making a new template.
For
Just,
the Go Funnel Box?
no, just for Facebook posts and stuff. So when I,
In the Canva thing?
yeah, so when I go and put 20 more days, I'll have a whole new template to put it to.
Cool. Yeah, I think we might have to get that Go Funnel Box because we don't want to use MailChimp anymore.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't, yeah.
That mean no muffler bearings for you, Lisa?
No muffler bearing, and I'm definitely not changing my blinker fluid either.
Guess that's out. Never mind.
Electric cars, I don't know crap about though, but give me a 64 Chevy 2 and I can do a lot of things on it.
My kind of one. Get an image, remove background. Send it back.